Hey, so today we are going to be painting a Riptide. So I'm just double checking my YouTube stream before we get beginning. Um, Alright, cool, we're good. Alright, and I need to share this to Facebook. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share to Facebook. Because why not? I'm having fun with this. This is cool. So yes, as you can see, we have the Riptide. And then, what else do I got? Twitter, Reddit. Nah, I'm good with that. Facebook is okay. Because I'm old. Alright, well, guess I don't need to look at that anymore. I need to be looking at my stream. So, as you can see, I've done a little bit of work on this. I posted a video earlier of the airbrushing the base coat, and while I was talking to some friends that I try and get some time to paint with, um, we were all painting our own minis. So yeah, this is the progress I've made so far. Essentially, what I want it to do is this is going to be like a base coat. So I'm using Abaddon Black for the back. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do for the symbol. I might actually paint it bright white, um, just for fun, as well as the symbol right here. But yeah, so it's coming along pretty good. So I'm basically, right now what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm doing all the black parts. I'm painting them black, and then I'm going to do a very light dry brush of gunmetal, and then maybe a little bit of Necron compound. Sorry, I just hit my camera. So I'm getting used to this new setup. I do like the setup so far. And then, so I think that's what I'm going to do today. And then maybe if we get time, we can start on the gun. I don't actually know a whole lot about Tau. I bought a bunch of models, and then just have been kind of sitting on them because I wasn't sure how I wanted to paint them. But I think this paint scheme is pretty slick, and I've magnetized the guns, right? So you can see where I started with the slap chop method, right? So just the zenithal. I went for a little bit darker. Kind of going for a bit of a retro vibe with this thing. Hey, if you like the stream, I guess please let me know. Do the cheesy like, share, and subscribe thing on my YouTube channel, but I mean, really. Yeah, so Abaddon Black. I don't know what I should really talk about. I'm always at a loss for words to talk about things on streams, but a buddy of mine who's helping me out with some information on stuff. If you're into Star Trek, I'm going to alter this live video after I'm done streaming, and put his link to his Instagram down below. He's been helping me out a lot and stuff like that. Super good modeler. He's been doing it all of his life. I literally grew up down the street from the guy, so kind of known him all my life. So yeah, just getting the black down there. So the black is just to kind of give it a nice little undertone when we paint the metallics on there. I have not yet mastered non-metallic metallics, and I'm not going to begin to try with this big guy. So, just if you're curious. Maybe one day I will consider myself a master painter. But we always grow and we always learn. Right? the best part is the journey. Sometimes it's not about the the destination that you want to reach, it's the journey. So I've probably been painting since 2017, and I've done a few different things. Um, a lot of Necrons. In fact, I've done so many Necrons, I still have like probably about 40 units to paint. Eventually, I'll get back into my Necrons. I just need some inspiration. I do incidentally plan on painting. I have a 3D printer. Um, one of my projects in the next couple of months will actually be the collector himself, because I have the STL file for his. Uh, there was a picture um, that was posted a long time ago. It was actually in one of the lore books, and it's the collector tries in the infinite. I think that's how you pronounce it. And if it's not, I don't care. I own a lot of Necrons. Anyways, it's him sitting down on a throne. It's actually a really beautiful piece. So some wonderful individual actually modeled it in 3D. And I managed to get it downloaded. I haven't yet printed it yet. So I don't know whether I want to print it at 28mm scale or kind of do a larger scale just to add to the, you know. But Necrons are really easy to paint. And I got into a rut where I was just painting so many Necrons. Layering and layering and layering. I mean, it's good to know the process, right? And yes, I'm not thinning my paint down. This is actually relatively thin paint. Okay, I'll thin it. Silly me. 2 thin coats. Which, according to some YouTube channels, isn't actually true. Dun, 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 dun. Just makes your paint easier to work with. What I have been watching a lot of it lately is if you are into modeling, I was watching a few videos on a very nice airbrush recipe and airbrush paint thinner recipe, because I have a lot of terrain, and especially for Battletech, and I've been printing a lot of terrain, and I'd like to get those painted, and potentially maybe shoot some battle reports. Not really too keen on dumping a whole lot of money into gear at this moment, but it's coming. It's definitely coming down the line. So what I'd like to be able to cover, like various different games. I have some Black Seas. I'd love to try Bolt Action if I could find somebody who wants to play Bolt Action and teach me how to play it. Because I find that kind of interesting. I love World War II era stuff. Yeah. But then there's also the Grimdark Future and stuff like that, and I've been seriously looking at contemplating getting into some of those minis as well, because there's more out there than just 40k. There's a lot more out there. One of the gripes that I'd had with my old channel, not that I want to crap on my old channel, but I love the experience, but one of my gripes in the old channel is because we kind of locked ourselves into 40k because it's the biggest market, right? And so since then, stuff's changed a lot, right? Like, we have so many other games out there. The technology is there that, you know, that you can cheaply buy a 3D printer, slap it in your home. Okay, so I'm going to do under here, black, in case it shows. It probably won't show, but I'm still going to do it black anyways. And this is actually going to be a gray. Um, but yeah, so you've got so many games out there, right? And like, um, for example, you've got Grimdark Future, which is kind of interesting to me because it started out as an anti GW game where you could use your GW miniatures to play said game, right? And it was a lot easier to play, so it was kind of like playing a, I don't want to say dumbed down version because it actually can be pretty in depth, but it's like playing a quicker, more streamlined, faster version of the game. So it kind of interests me, and I'd like to get into that as well. And I have a 3D printer, so I can print some of their models and show them off. So this is all at the very beginning stages. These are things I want to do, whether or not I get around to them, because I lead a very busy life. You know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I'm at least gonna give it the good old 1-2 try. Wow. Alright, so I want to do this as well. I gotta do that in black. Because it isn't technically armor. It's the underworking. So I think that would look kind of cool as a little accent. Again, I don't really intend on. I'm actually just going to do myself a favor here, and I'm actually going to move my light up. So if you see the camera shaking a little bit, I apologize, but I'm also trying to make it better for your viewing pleasure. If you are viewing it. Just a bit more light. Yeah, still kind of dark, but no, it's the camera. I think what I can do. I'm sorry about this. Is bump, bump, bump that light up. Maybe aim this one a little bit more. I'm working on the rig. It's always a work in progress. There's my kitty. She's right beside me, loving me. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to it. All right, that's a little bit better. All right. Yeah, still I'm gonna get that thing from the phone. I'm actually just because I'm using my cell phone to. I'm transmitting wirelessly with Joy-Can. I do have plans on getting a dedicated camera for this, 100%. Mainly because I believe in using the right tool for the job. So, cell phone's great, but I should really be using an actual camera that's designed for what I'm intending on doing. Oh, that's way too water jet. I think it's because I still have water in my brush. So, one thing I'd like to work on this stream. So if you can see the little orange peeking out, that's kind of what I want to go for. But I want to do that with metallics, not paint. So yeah, this paint's way too watered down, but that's fine. It'll work like a shade paint. Just go over it. Sure. If you're enjoying the stream, let me know. I've got a chat window up here. And even if you're watching it after the fact, leave a comment on the video. Um, what you like, what you don't like. You can even troll me, even I generally won't care, because trolls are trolls. Internet trolls. And it's gonna look good when it's done. It's turning out way better than I initially kind of thought it would. I wasn't originally planning on using um, speed paint to base coat this thing, but my god, the Army Warpainter speed paints slap chop method, because it is kind of quick and dirty. But if you go through and you do all of this stuff, because like I'm doing nothing other than this base coat here. I'm doing nothing different than I already did with a lot of my other models. Like when I was going through, and if you look at my Instagram, you can see an armature I did. I kind of used the box art to give me a little bit of inspiration on him. I still have the other armature. I love the look of 40k Knights. The steampunky mecha suit, you know. I would love to build an entire army of them. That would be like heaven for me. Ba-ba-ba. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to keep this orange. Maybe not. But it's not armor, so it doesn't necessarily have to be orange. And if I hit areas of black, I'll go back and retouch them. Can you hear the motorcycles in the back? Yeah, this black cover's alright. So, I gotta get in there. I also have to paint that black. So, I'm going to set closer to the light. And B. I don't know if it translates well on camera, but you know what? People aren't going to see that. I'm going to go through and do this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm off camera. You should be yelling at me for that. I placed my camera very particularly so that I wouldn't have to lean in and work. So here I am, leaning in and working. Silly, silly, silly. And I realize that you're probably not going to see a lot of this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Why? Because I can. Good shot? Right, good shot. So yeah, I kind of been interested in getting into the grim dark future kind of thing. I'd like to check out some. There are a lot of their minis that I'm not really keen on, but they're all great, and I'd like to try them. The beautiful thing about Grimdark Future is there's so many STL packs out there that I could buy an STL pack and create my own army, come up with some backstory, you know, and then use them on the tabletop. The problem with Grimdark Future is finding somebody to play with, right? Because 90% of the reason why you want to paint a mini is to play with the mini, right? Plus, they look cool. I might eventually try a Gundam model. The thing is, I don't know enough about Gundam to know what I'd like. I just know I like mechs. Gonna have to get in there too. All those little nooks and crannies. Brush liquors of the world unite. So, because I'm kind of trying to get into some of the crevices here, it's hard to see what I'm doing exactly, and I can understand that. Once we get done with that, though, let's see. I'm just trying to. There's some parts that, because I'm not doing this for tabletop, I'm kind of doing it for display purposes. I want to do a good job on it. Yeah, you want to do a good job on anything you do, but more or less because there's some details here that I'd like to have in my metallic color. So you notice I did hit this a little bit, and I did hit this a little bit. I'm going to have to come back and touch up those areas, but and then I get to go back and do all the other stuff. I just want to have that bare metal look though for a few parts, just to kind of break up some of the the brightness. So yeah, part of my adventures today is going to be going to the art supply store and getting some retarder. I have some flow improver here, pretty sure, so I won't need to go buy that. Good for that. And I'm gonna make some airbrush stuff because I need to. So I have these things. I know they're cheap paints, but I'd like to be able to run them through my airbrush, and you can. I was thinking about getting some Goldine stuff, but that's still a lot of money to put down, especially because I'm filling an Alpha Strike table full of terrain, and a lot of it is like urban environment. So just I want to be able to paint it a little bit more efficiently than, you know, just using very pricey little paint bottles. I want to use bigger paint bottles, thin them down, and airbrush them. Because it's not about the terrain. The terrain is nice, but at the same time, I want to have a nice looking table. Oh no. Oh no. We're experiencing technical difficulties. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Dropped my paintbrush. It was almost a catastrophe. So apart from these bigger areas, I have all these little... Oh, I missed a spot. Shame on me. There's, these little areas here. And they're not staying this color. Oh, too much water. Dang it. They're not staying this color black. They will be metallic color, but it's more or less just a method to keep the underlying base coat from bleeding through. Plus, it provides detail. Break up the monotony. Man, double sharp. I really should have done this in sub-assemblies. Well, I kind of did, but maybe more sub-assemblies next time. Everything looking good. So it's going to get in there, right here. It's going to be hard to get. I might just hit that with a little bit of silver because it's pretty darn close to being black. Right here. It's going to look super good. For the greater good. And any little mess ups I could technically hide with my homemade mill. Not that I want to screw up that. One thing, this hobby is completely different now that instead of painting an entire army, I can break up the monotony of doing the same thing over and over and over again. The worst painting experience I'd have to say is doing, how many destroyers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus, yeah, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 destroyers. All the same color. And only to have them completely and totally nerf them in 9th edition. They were really strong in 8th edition. Then they nerfed it. They're like, oh, we want more of your money, so we're just going to release a ton more of them. And by the way, those old ones, they suck now. Yep. But you got some cool models. But they still suck. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it. Games advance and stuff like that. But it sure does, you know. Now, I do have, I have added to those over time. I got the Scorpex and stuff. So one thing I can say though is some of the ones that they added, I don't really like the the Hexmark Destroyer, although it's anti-infantry, or it was anti-infantry. I don't know what it does in 10th edition. I haven't even dabbled. Okay, gotta get all the spots. No, I did not. There's the back here. I don't know what I want to do the base like. I haven't thought that far ahead. I was thinking about going to get some aquarium plants because he's so bright, but at the same time, I don't want to take away from the coloring. But I kind of want to put him in an environment where, you know, he blends in a little bit. And yes, it's a he. Why? Because I don't know. The pilot is a he. It's a fish. It's a boy fish. Battlesuit's girl. See? There you go. The pilot's a boy, the battlesuit's a girl. I don't know. If you're old like me, you have the old girl kind of vibes on your car or whatever. Anyways, I should be quiet about that because it can stir up a whole bunch of crap that I don't really care about. Sorry, I don't really care to talk about it. She ain't perfect, but she'll do. Okay, I think we've done about all that black that I can get. Now, for the fun part, we have lead belcher. Is this my really liquidy one? Yeah. I think I thinned. Yeah, I thinned this out for airbrushing. I thinned it out too much. But I do need that. There we go. Hitting the camera again. There we go. Base lead belcher. So we're gonna kind of do. Oh, this is a brand new one. Yeah, there we go. Oops. All right. So I gave it that undercoat of black, so it'll be more forgiving. And I don't have to do all of it for the belcher. I can kind of just hit the outsides, give it a nice little. Oop. Didn't I just miss a spot? Yeah. No. No. Okay. Go with the dry, fresh brush. There we go. What's what I want? Lightly hit that. Almost dry brushing. Look at that. See how that brings that out? Just a little metallic accent. One of the things I used when I was doing my armature was I did a really cool undercoat with multiple colors. Don't worry about that. I have to go back and do some edge highlighting just to hide my screw ups. I'm not a perfect painter, but oh, that really pops. That's so nice. Pardon me. Um, One of the things I did when I was doing the armature was making sure to have some subtle colors under the metallics, not just straight black. But with this guy, his metallics are secondary, so It's turned out pretty darn good. I'm happy with the result. Soon he can battle for the greater good. Not that he ever will. This model. If I ever get my Tau done, sure, I'll use this guy at the tabletop. But I am in no hurry to build another army. No hurry at all. No. See that metallic sheen. Gotta do it here. Gotta do the legs. Maybe a little bit here. I have a silver thumb. Call me Mr. Fumbles. Uh, Wow, I'm really happy with the way he turned out. It's a lot quicker to paint than I thought. So, once I get these legs done, he, other than the white here, is pretty much where I want him to be. You know, except for the gravel, the ground. I don't know what I want to do there. No idea. Pretty dark, eh? That is why Necrons are so easy to paint. I'm in black, and I went with a very, very lazy. Um, I don't know what the term is for it. I know there's a term for it, but it's like a wet dry brush metallics. And it gives you this nice dark gunmetal. And then you can go through and, you know, touch things up as you please. But it's actually a really easy way to get an army on the table. Hence why Necrons are probably the easiest army to paint. Sorry for getting off screen. I'll do some glamour shots of this guy later. But yeah, so as you can see, a lot more shiny. Right, and I'm going to go through and just highlight it with Necron compound. The Necron compound is a dry brush paint. And I'm not sure I really like the dry brush paint line, but when you see the effect that it has, you can understand what I'm trying to do. So it's a very, very nice light metallic that you only ever really need a little bit of just to kind of highlight those areas. And a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. Excuse me. I didn't even really need all that much. Like you saw how little I put on that brush. It just makes that metallic really just pop. Brings it out. Right? Gives it a really nice metallic look. Alright. And then I gotta go through and do the little things like this. One thing I'm gonna try, and this is gonna be tricky, but I launched a technique. I'm gonna need this orange. There's some touch-ups that I want to do, but first we need the original paint that I used. Where is it? Peachy Flash. Sorry, I'm just looking up the paint. It is not Slaughter Red. It is Fire Giant Orange. What is the beeping for? Oh, okay. Sorry, it's just a really loud notification. Right. So, oh, that's why. Sorry about this. Here we go. Well, unfortunately, I dumped the battery in my phone, so I'm going to have to end this stream here, but we will continue later on. I don't know, maybe later today or maybe sometime early tomorrow. Um, in the meantime, I will leave everything set up exactly where I left off, and I shall return when I can. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.